Why you make that song about Andre 3000?
You know, we miss him.
We do.
Were you trying to send a message to him, or were you really talking about how you feel?
What do you think?
I think you were talking about how you really feel, and like whether or not I think you want him to hear it, but even if it doesn't, you're like, this is my heart. I feel like you put your heart on the track, even though it's funny and this is funny. You're like, this is how I really feel because I love hip hop. I love this guy. He's not here with us right now. And like, you saw our episode when we get into like the third verse, and you were like, this is how it relates to me. And I was like, we have gone beyond a joke, funny record into like, I'm giving you my real feelings as myself, as an MC, as a hip hop person. So that's what I was like, he's just, it's like, this is just my feelings.
That's right. You know, it starts out sounding kind of critical, and then you realize it's got a little bit to do with me too.
It's loving.
Thank you.
It's loving and loving towards the culture and the perspective that you have. What I want to ask you is, like, did you start writing it from that perspective already? Like, you thought about like how I feel about rap, and then looked at what's going on with Andre 3000, and then made this song, or you were like, why are you making this flute album? And then you came up with how to like personalize it in the writing process.
You know, I think one of my jobs as an artist is to pay attention to when I have really strong feelings about something. Because that means I have something to say. And I used to fire those thoughts off in tweets or group texts, and then I realized this is IP. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had strong feelings about it when it came out, and the original idea was to, you know, maybe sample the flute album and write a song, you know, do it. And it devolved into something else. But it really was just me processing my feelings, you know, about the album. And then as the pen was going, you know, it turned inward. And there's a lot that I relate to him on, particularly the fear of aging out of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, like really just missing him, because he was one of my favorite artists. And now we don't have that flavor from him, you know? It's kind of missing in the landscape.
That's how we both feel about it.
The fear of aging out of this culture that means so much to us is so real and so frightening. And like, you know, I remember listening to Rapper's Delight when it was on the radio. I don't want to not be part of hip hop and feel like I don't understand anymore. And, you know, to get like a Clips album where they're like 50 and 47, and like, I'm like, you're killing it. I understand it. Great. And, you know, I did go to the Tyler, the Creator show on Monday, and the show is incredible.
I feel young and youthful.
The crowd, no, I felt old. The crowd is extremely young. And I'm like, I feel very freaking old. And I feel like they should be looking at me like, you came without your kids. Like, yes, I came without my kids. I've been a fan of this nigga since the fucking first record. But you know, yeah, like you can feel it, because hip hop is not about age, right? It's about youth. So you can feel like we can age out of this, and then the culture I love so much will have left me behind, and I won't be able to go to the party.
Right.
That's what we were told, it seems like, which is in your last, like my favorite part of it was, I wanted the world to love me. Now a couple friends will do, tell the truth. These the thoughts you had, is where you at, where I'm headed to. That question right there, the depth in that question is just amazing too. Just the vulnerability in that shit. And then coming to say that, so please don't take it personal, but you moved on from rap. And I don't think I have the courage to. That was a bar, my friend. That's what we call a bar. And that's when I had to go and check all your discography. Found out you was a white man, actually a puppet now. Found out you was a puppet. You transferred your soul into a puppet. That's right. And listened to all the music, and I was like, you've been doing this. And you have like platinum records, bro.
Yeah. I've been doing it a long time, and I still love it. And I was very flattered by your guys' response. You know,
Yeah.
it feels nice to create art that gets fully appreciated. You know what I mean? Instead of just kind of another thing that gets sent off into the abyss of the internet. You know?
Yeah.
No, we thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was gonna say. Honestly,
it doesn't only happen to old people; it also happens to younger people.
Yeah, I'm sunsetting. I'm early onset right over here.
Early onset.
I'm sorry, I have to break the bit because my forearm is hurting. So
no, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. There he is.
We love the bit. We love the. See, now you're throwing me off because the puppet. What's the puppet's name?
That's me. That's Andy.
Okay, you call him. Okay.
Just normally I wear a bucket hat, but today it was just, you know.
See, he's got the Syracuse Orangemen jersey, which looks
jacket. I grew up in Syracuse.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Are you Syracuse? Or are you Atlanta? So you're from Syracuse?
Yeah, I grew up in Syracuse, and then I moved to New York City as a teenager. And then a couple years ago, me and my wife moved down to Atlanta.
Okay, where were you? Wait, when you lived in New York, where were you?
I was in Manhattan. I was uptown. So I went to the City College of New York. I lived in Harlem. And then I moved up when I got married, or actually, when school was finished, I moved up to 167 in Amsterdam, and then I moved up to 207 when I got married.
167? That's way high. Is that Harlem or the Bronx? God damn, Nick.
That's still, man. That's the Heights. That's the Heights. That's why.
Dominican. Yes.
Spanish. Yeah.
Yes. That's where everyone goes to get their bricks. Yes.
That's right. And I was on the block between Amsterdam and Autobahn. I was in the spot.
Oh, so you knew what was going on?
Yeah, they were buddies.
Buddies. Those are the buddies, the guys.
Yeah. My friends. They'd give me a brick, but they tell me, we don't want to have to kill you. You fuck it up, so just don't.
That's right.
I want to ask you a question since we're talking about the ageism in hip hop and this whole thing about aging out. I feel like it literally got murdered when this album came out. I don't think I feel the psyche of hip hop now feels like there's no such thing as ageism. I feel like
the Clips album?
Yeah.
Because of this Clips album, the cultural moment that is this Clips album. This is the number 4 album in the country. This is 2 guys that weren't here for 15 years. This is Pharrell coming to make his statement of, I still do this, fellas. Like, I know that I haven't been here in a while, but I still do this. I feel like that's the general thing that the culture's really saying. I want to know what both of y'all feel about it. But first, you, Andy, about that statement that I'm saying, that I feel like it's almost something that's dissipated or is dissipating. How you feel?
It's like hip hop is 50 years old right now.
Right.
So it's a pretty young genre. So I feel like it, in a lot of ways, we're like seeing the first people age with it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, completely.
So it's kind of new, and until it happens, you don't know if it can happen, kind of thing. But I think, like, man, they look really good, they sound really good. I'm like, yo, if you have taste, right, and you're good at what you do, and you don't like let yourself go, you know. Like, there's a point when certain people get to an age where they just stop caring. You know, they're like, I'm just gonna wear whatever's on the sale rack at Under Armour. You know? Like, they gave up, you know. So they don't. I mean, they're at Louis Vuitton, like, they're in Paris, they're like tapped in culturally, they're designing sneakers, like, I mean, and then you also, you know, have access to Pharrell, and I think taste can carry you a long way. And, like,
taste is important, but there's also a need to be aware of what people are talking about. Like, my friend group is not talking about Love Island. My daughter is, so I understand that's important to her, but I did not come to Love Island organically. Now, at the Monday Tyler show, Lil Yachty precedes Tyler. He's doing his set, and then he just stops the set and just starts talking about Love Island. And they were all so excited, and he's like, yeah. And when Tony said to Janet, and they're all like, yes, exactly. And I'm like,
those are not people on Love Island.
whatever. I just throw it out. You're right, because I don't know. I don't even know the names of the people I'm about.
That's
but I'm
hilarious.
saying like you could say, yeah, well, I still have the same taste that made me look cool when I was 26 or whatever. But like, I don't know the tools that they're talking about. You know what I mean? When a new rapper comes out, I'm like, I'll know him. And they're like, oh, we've been rocking with him. Like, from where? From the Nickelodeon show. I don't watch Nickelodeon. You know what I mean? Like that happens when you get out of the culture that's in the culture.
Yeah.
That's trend, not taste, though.
It's more than trend. It's more than trend because trend is shorter and quicker. And a trend can go multi-generationally. The generation will have its norms and likes, who it likes. And the generation above can see that. The generation above, it becomes harder to see. What are the 25-year-olds paying attention to? You're 50. It's hard to see.
Well, you know, somebody said this to me about like haters on the internet, and it's always stuck with me. It's like they call them the noisy 5%. And I always thought that was a good, you know, it was like, oh, it seems like everyone's hating because this noisy 5% has taken up so much of the real estate in the comment section. But your average person's probably going to scroll by, like it, carry on with their day. You know what I mean? And so, like, part of me wonders if just the noisiest people are the youngest ones, which makes it feel like that's the only, like, the 18-year-old is like the only demographic that matters. But then you have like your 30s, your 40s, like, we want music, you know, listening to stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like they're there and they're servicing those people who rocked with them for a long time. And then also, in a way, through, you know, all the marketing that's happening for this project, getting introduced to a new demographic. I went to the gym the other day with my boy Vic. He's a barber. And we go to the gym all the time. And he was like, yo, who's the Clips? And I was like, I was like, yo, you're joking. Because he loves rap. He's in hip hop culture, everything. And I was like, wait, I said, let me throw some things out. I was like, keys open doors, right? I'm like throwing stuff. And then I was like, grinding? And he was like, oh, I've heard that before. And it just hit me. He said, I was born in 1999. And then I go, oh, grinding came out in 2002.
Yeah.
So that means you were 3 or 4 or whatever. It's like,
yeah, you could have missed that easily, especially if they're not a multi-platinum group. They went 5, they did gold, which is great even for back then, but at a time where everybody was going diamond, who's at the top. You know what I'm talking about? This is the time where Ludacris, Nelly's out, and they are doing gold. And then the second album was highly critically acclaimed, but it did like 200,000 the first week. In that time, when we're actually buying CDs because you have to, that's way different. And I completely agree with that statement you said about the 5%, because people don't know that 55% of, or most of Spotify streaming listeners are between 18 and 34. The highest portion of that group is 25 to 34, which is
the highest portion on Spotify is 25 to 34.
Yes, 25 to 34. It's I think it's 29%. Followed by Gen Z, which is 18 to 24%, because Spotify actually has a problem with Gen Alpha. They're freaking watching streamers and TikTok and stuff like that. They're not going to Spotify. Spotify has a young people problem.
But I would, yeah. I mean, I would think the main audience for pop music would always be 15 to 25.
Well, that's nice for pop music, but the main audience for actual music consumption.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The main group of music consumers are like 15 to 25, and they're saying we're having a problem with 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Okay. And I could see like a lot of reasons for that. But then I want to dive more into why you said 25 to 34 is more than 18 to 24. That's strange to me. On a music service, I wonder if that loops in podcast listening also, which is not what we're talking about, right? The other things.
No, that is music consumption. This is something. I mean, I'll be music business worldwide, right? I just be looking at music business news all the time. 29% is 25 to 34, and millennials, basically, in the older Gen Z, are that hot. That's the hotbed of music consumption. It's 25 to 34. That's just what it is. Because music consumption has changed. The interest of media of people in general and ages in general has changed from back in 2000. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
you're saying on
how things are.
Spotify specifically too, right?
Spotify
Because
specifically.
like
Yeah,
I know a lot of young kids just like to listen to YouTube, and so there's
exactly.
there's different
Yeah.
variables in there too. But
They
I
like to
mean,
listen to YouTube, and they like to not spend their time listening to music as much.
Spotify. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also thing we got to realize.
well, we saw XXX Tentacion before he passed. Like, he was like kind of on that wave of making like 55-second songs, minute 10 songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
It's
was
like,
really on that way.
I said what I said. The song's over. Let's move on.
I
love
appreciated
that.
that, honestly.
I love that.
I mean, bro, the other day I pulled up a record and I was like, yo, do you remember when guys felt forced to write the third verse?
Third verse.
And those third verses were so trash because it was just like,
Usually.
let me just.
Usually.
There's some occasions where it's not, but it's like you can hear their struggles. Like, just make it 12, man. Yeah, and there's like 5-minute 44-second songs. You're like, dude.
100%.
Whenever I try to consume like a Public Enemy record now, like I put one on the other day because I was like, I told somebody about My Uzi Weighs a Ton. He was like, what is that? I said, it's this old song. I pulled it up. I was like, this beat is going for almost 6 minutes. Like, I would have consumed like 5 songs by now. It's crazy. No disrespect to them. I just
No, for
it's
sure.
just funny how it's all changed.
That's exactly how it's been. The third verse is definitely dead. And then when I feel like there was that hotbed zone in the early 2000s. We're talking about DMX and Eminem era where they used the third verse. They looked at it as a story where it was like the setup was the first verse, the conflict was in the second verse, and they had their morality in the third verse. So it made sense that the whole song needed to be there. And then I don't know when it started, but that third verse got deleted real quick. I don't know when it started. It's like, we gotta get this out of here. But yeah, this song, like you sent us another song. I didn't get to listen to it. Just let us know and let everybody who's watching us, like, what's coming next.
Oh yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me, guys, because I love what you guys do, and obviously,
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Torre's a legend. I've been watching forever, listening to you forever, and my boy King Green. I didn't know you also got bars on you, so it's cool to hang out with people that I feel like I'd be friends with anyways, and talk music.
That's dope.
Yeah, so I was with a record label for 10 years. I just went independent. This I swear this is not an Andre 3000. This song is the first drop because I went silent for a little bit. Most people know me from a song called Coming In Hot, which was like a viral song that went platinum of mine a couple years ago. And since then, I kind of
just went platinum, just a little platinum.
Just
a little platinum. I ain't got no platinum song. Ture, you got platinum song? You got a couple? No, you don't. Oh, you're not there yet. No. Okay, but keep going.
And I have another record that went platinum too. It was like it was really big in like the workout scene. It's called You Can't Stop Me. It's like high energy people like. So yeah, I've been doing it for like 10 years, signed to that label, and I was able to get out of my deal, launch my own thing. And this record was kind of like a reintroduction to say, I've been gone for a while too. And a lot of the reason is because I've been, trying to find the right thing as a creative who likes to innovate and do something different. When you're in the studio cooking up and you just don't feel like what you're going to offer to the world is like unique or have a new perspective, you almost feel like, does this need to be out? Does this need to exist? And that was a tension for me. So that's kind of why I ended up being a lead off, even though it's not like a banger. It's more of like a emotionally charged like reintroduction.
Yeah. No, this grabs people's attention. It doesn't need to be a banger to grab people's. This, like, people sent this record to me. You got to check this out. So I mean, people are like talking about it. Like, as soon as you see the image and the title, you're like, oh my God, what is this? So you're like freaking grabbing the curiosity gap like a motherfucker.
Appreciate that. Thank you, man. That was the hope. We said in the interview when I was trying to find the title for the song, I was like originally going to name it, I swear I really want to like this Andre 3000 album, but I don't think, And I was like, you know what? I was telling my boy, I was like, that.
Like he did the titles.
Yeah, I was like, that could come off as like mockery. My buddy on that. He's like, you don't want to sound like you, because that's the last thing I want to do, with this Andre record. So I was like, let me just say that. I'm not actually trying to disrespect this guy. I just want to let him know we love him, we miss him, and sometimes I see myself in him. You know what I mean? Like if this guy who's such a creative genius is what I'm interpreting is going, I don't know if I got anything left to say. It kind of makes you face your own like creative mortality too, and so that's that's where it ended up going. But and now this Friday I have the second song coming out, which is Okay We Back. I was able to get the sample cleared from Mark Morrison's Return of the Mac.
Okay.
So we sampled that record. That's coming out Friday. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Just like ownership and talking to my fans again, getting back outside.
I completely love that. That is, I love that you even had the whole song isn't a diss song. It isn't something that should be slighted, and you should feel like that love and appreciation for the culture as well as Andre 3000 and for, like you said, your creative mortality. So I appreciate that song so much as an artist, as a millennial older artist too. You know what I'm saying? Is you have these thoughts like, do I have it? If he doesn't have it, why am I gonna have it? That's a perfect statement, and I can't wait to hear this new joint. What's the name of it, real quick? One more time, because I didn't get to hear it.
Okay, we back.
Okay, we back. Return to the Mac sample. About to listen to this. You know, everybody who's watching, I got it already. Y'all gonna get it on Friday. I'm gonna send it to Touré too. Make sure we can hear it, so we can hear it. Is there gonna be a visual for it?
Not yet for this one. I think the stuff going forward, we're gonna just this one particular is gonna have what we call UGC, like user generated content, where a lot of the fans are making stuff. I'm gonna be reposting, sharing that. So that's how we're gonna run this campaign. And then if it goes crazy, it makes sense. Shoot a video.
To do the visual, yeah. Try to build it up.
I got a great idea for a video, man. It's just this is the when you're funding yourself, you come to every decision. You go, how
do we want to spend the money?
How are we gonna make it work? You got to figure out how to. I employ 2 guys full time to work with me, and we all got just trying to figure out how to do this thing independently and make it work. So we'll see. But I think it's just the beginning of us rolling out our music. So we'll get to. Hopefully we'll get there.
You're doing great work, and I'm all ears. I know we're both all ears. We're gonna wrap this up right now for this episode. This is Andy Mineo. Right? I got that shit. This is my guy now. This is my guy now. Thank you so much for coming, stopping by. And little Andy, you could throw.
Oh yeah, you guys already know I got a 10-week-old at the house, so I was like double checking I didn't have spit up on me before I got on the call.
Oh, I love that. 10 weeks.
And you know what? I know we about to wrap, but that's what I wanted to say to you, Tori, was when I watched the reaction, there was a moment where I said something and he was like, yo, that's a bar. And you went like, oh. It was a bar, but you also like were sad or something. And I was like, yo, I think this record hit him in the chest.
Yeah, for
sure. I wanted to ask you about it because I was like,
for sure. I mean, it was a live react. So that was the first time listening to it. And like, as I said, as the song goes on, it gets deeper and more personal and real. And it's not a surfacey, like joke record. It's like a real MC reflection on his place in the culture as he's growing up, as his idol is moving, like all that. So there's so much going on. So the sadness of the Andre 3000 situation, the sense that another artist had seen the same thing and expressed the same thing in his way, and I did it in my way, it was like, wow, like there's so much triangulating. And like, but then yes, I'm still very sad about this Andre 3000 situation. The fuck, nigga, come on, man. And he says he records all the time. He just doesn't want to put it out. I'm like, so it's there. Like, just drop the name of the studio. Maybe niggas would put on some masks and go and fucking break into studio and put out your shit like they did on Beyonce. Like, it could happen. Just let me know.
The SZA, if you need a team to bust down the door for the SZA, like the SZA project, we could do that. I wonder too. Like, I would love to know one day if he ever saw it or like get his reaction to it. But I also I was even thinking about like we were talking about. I was like, I might just throw the instrumental out there just in case, and this was never meant to actually be like, this was not a plan to try to get him or whatever, but because this record is actually, spoiler alerts, about me,
Yeah,
he's kind of the muse of the moment.
Completely. We get that.
But, I'd love to know one day if he ever
put the instrumental out there, see if he do. I mean, one thing that man be doing is drop verses, even though he act like he don't like rapping, but he dropped a verse, a year ago? It's like he be dropping verses all the time that are like the best verses in the world. So
yeah.
Hopefully something gets inspired. But then again,
thanks again, fellas. Yeah, for real.
Thank you so much.
For real.
That's Rap Latte.
I'ma get $1 million in the bank.